Welcome, welcome, busy moms. If you are watching this, you're going to want to stay to the end because I've got some amazing information to share with you that's going to help you find a little bit of more calm in the week. In the comments, put what day of the week you're watching this. And as you're doing that, hit that subscribe button. We're building a great community here. We have over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much who already subscribed. I'm so glad you are here because we are going to be creating such a wonderful community here. I've got some great things planned for this channel. And so keep viewing, keep sharing, keep liking it, and stay to the end because I've got some tips for you that you're going to want to use. So again, put in the comments, what day of the week are you watching this? Because have you ever caught yourself saying, I just need to make it to Friday? Or maybe once this week is over, things will calm down. I used to work in a school and I would say, oh, I can't wait till summer break. Well, then the summer would come and I'd be like, oh, I just need to get to the weekend. But then Friday comes and you spend the weekend catching up, recovering from all the busy schedule or running errands, cleaning the house, maybe prepping meals for the next week. And before you know it, Sunday night arrives and the cycle starts all over again. Or haven't you ever noticed you can't wait for a vacation, but then you get back from the vacation and it feels like you were never even on one because you have so many things to do to get caught back up? Yeah. If that sounds familiar, you're not failing. You're stuck in survival mode. And survival mode teaches your brain to focus on getting through life instead of actually living it. Today, we're going to talk about why so many moms feel trapped in that waiting for Friday cycle. And I'm going to share some simple momentum shifts that can help you feel calmer, more present, and more connected every single day. 1 second. I need to tell my dog to stop licking his paws. He's got an infection and we're trying to prevent him from licking the paws all the time. Hey, no licking. I know, I got to give him a toy or something else to lick on. So, welcome to Calm Mom Conversations. I am Stacy Johnson. I am a resilience and momentum specialist, and I help overwhelmed moms find that or create that calm over chaos, create the financial freedom that they are and time freedom they want for your families without wasting time and more money to figure out all on your own. And I am so glad you're here. And again, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that we can, continue to create some wonderful things in this community. Most moms don't realize they're living in countdown mode. You wake up on Monday already looking forward to the weekend. Tuesday feels super long. Wednesday feels heavy. Thursday feels exhausting. And Friday feels like a relief. Then the cycle repeats. The problem isn't the calendar. It's not this thing, my calendar that I have. The problem is what the mindset creates inside your body. When you're constantly waiting for something better to happen later, your brain learns that today isn't safe, enjoyable, or enough. the nervous system stays focused on getting through, managing everyone, solving problems, and avoiding mistakes. And I talked a lot about this topic of managing everyone else's schedules and being the responsible one, carrying everything. So go back to the video before. I dated it. I think it was June like 1st or 2nd episode where we talked about, one thing, letting go of one thing during the week. So instead of, staying focused on getting through and managing everyone and solving problems, instead, we're going to focus on enjoying moments, feeling connected, experiencing peace, and creating memories. Doesn't that sound so wonderful? And when we do that, we become more present physically and emotionally. I remember a season of life where every week felt like a marathon. I was juggling work, parenting, responsibilities, and then a horrible thing happened and I lost my husband suddenly. So not only was I juggling work and parenting and responsibilities, now I was managing grief and I was trying to hold everything together. I was like juggling all of these balls up in the air. And every Monday felt heavy before it even started. I wasn't asking, how can I enjoy this week? I was asking, how can I survive this week? And the truth is, I wasn't living. I was waiting for Friday, waiting for vacation, waiting for life to feel easier. And, like when you keep saying, I wish I can't wait for Friday, you're wishing your life away as well. And then one day I realized something. If I kept waiting for relief, I was going to miss my life. The moments with my daughters, the quiet moments, the small wins, the simple joys. I wasn't present because my mind was always living in the future. I was exhausted. When moms become overwhelmed, their brains naturally look for an escape. The weekend, it looks like the escape. Vacations become the escape. The next season, so maybe when kids graduate from high school or kids, get out of that toddler stage and don't need you to, give them a bath, they become a little bit more independent. So waiting for that next season becomes the escape. And that's what I was doing. There were so many times I remember conversations with my late husband. We would say, oh, when the kids graduate from high school, when they both graduate, you know, the problem is that when relief always exists in the future, your brain never learns how to feel calm in the present. And you might miss out. I mean, there were so many things that I could have done if I would have just done them then when my husband was alive. So I don't want you to be in that situation. And you become emotionally dependent on circumstances changing. That's what your brain constantly is looking for, instead of learning how to create calm where you are. So instead of saying, what would make, or stop asking, how can I get through today? This is where we're going to talk about how we can maybe shift some of the things we say and how it can create more calmness for you. So instead of asking, how do I get through today? Ask yourself, what would make today feel meaningful? Notice the difference. One question comes from survival, the other comes from intention. And if you're not really sure of what that could look like, book a momentum audit. The link is in the description. And we can talk more about that because a lot of times we can set ourselves up to take this shift, but we're not consistent at it because we have these other internal beliefs that kind of get us stuck. But today could feel meaningful by maybe taking a walk outside, a phone call to a friend, reading a book before bed instead of scrolling, watching your child's game without checking your phone. These small moments matter. Another shift. Celebrate completion. Moms finish 20 things and focus on the one thing they left undone. Sound familiar? Oh, yeah, I know. Your brain keeps moving to the finish line. You keep looking for all the things, you keep going through your list, right? Check, check, check. And you never feel accomplished. And at the end of the day, you ask, what did I actually complete today? Not what remains, not what went wrong. What did you actually finish? This builds momentum. It's what I started creating was, at the end of my day, I always reflect on 3 things that I accomplished, big or small. So what did I finish? Made a huge difference. Instead of looking at all the things the one thing that I didn't finish, I looked at the 3 things that I did finish. Look for evidence of good. So what does that mean? Survival mode trains your brain to scan for problems. We're always looking for the things that went wrong. You start, when you're scanning for problems, you're noticing what's late, maybe what's broken, what's stressful, what's missing. So instead, ask yourself, what went right today? I used to work in a very stressful situation and I would have, coworkers be like, "Oh my gosh, this day was so stressful." And I always said, "No one got hurt. Everybody's going home tonight." So that made a difference too. I wasn't looking for the stress or everything that went wrong during the day. I was looking at the better things. So ask yourself, what's going right today? Maybe your child smiled at you. Maybe they gave you a hug. Maybe dinner got made and everybody ate without complaining or saying, "Ew, what's this?" Maybe you did handle a stressful moment better than you did last month. Momentum grows where attention goes. So focusing your attention on the good is where the momentum is. Create a midday reset. And I've talked a lot about these in my self-care videos. So you can go back to any one of those videos on self-care. So most moms wait until bedtime to recover, and that's way too late. Instead, take 60 seconds during the day. 60 seconds, that's all I'm asking for. 1 minute. Pause, take a breath, look around yourself, and ask, what actually needs my attention right now? Not everything, just right now. This one question can stop the spiral before it starts. And even before you ask yourself that question, pause and take that deep breath that we did in the beginning of this video. And if you're looking for other reset ideas, any of my lives where I do Mindful Monday can give you any technique that can help you create that pause in the day. And then when you're doing that pause, ask yourself, what needs my attention right now? And stop saving joy for the weekend. This is the big one. We unintentionally postpone joy. So we think, I'll relax this weekend, I'll enjoy life after vacation, I'll be happy when things slow down. But life is happening right now. Can you enjoy your coffee today? Can you step outside for a few minutes, maybe during your lunch break or before you start dinner? Can you laugh with your kids today? Tiny moments create meaningful life, not just big events. Again, we've talked about this before. The goal isn't perfection. The goal isn't becoming productive enough to earn rest. A lot of times we have that belief is that we don't deserve rest. And you're productive enough, you don't have to earn it. You deserve it. The goal is creating emotional momentum, because when you create emotional momentum, you stop dragging yourself through life. You stop living in that survival mode. You begin moving through life with more of that calm, that peace. You have that more connection that we've been talking about with our family, our kids, and you're more emotionally present. Being physically present is one thing. And that's why what I always thought, when my kids were younger, I thought if I was a Girl Scout involved in their Girl Scouts, if I volunteered for field trips, if I did room mother things, then I was physically there. Sure, it mattered, but not as much as the emotional connection. And I was too exhausted a lot of times to be emotionally connected. So again, number one reason why I want to help all moms feel like they have that calm so they can connect to their kids. So again, make sure you subscribe, share this with another mom that could benefit from being in this community. And if you have been counting down to Friday every week, I want you to know you're not alone. And you can click that momentum audit button and book an audit with me. We can take a look at what are some of the things that are preventing you from creating that momentum. But your life is too valuable to spend waiting for that next break. So this week, choose one momentum shift, just one, and let me know what's changing for you. Because calm doesn't come from escaping your life. It comes from learning how to live it. And I, again, thank you for joining Calm Mom Conversations. And ask yourself, are you living for Friday or are you living for today? Until next time.